start saving green. And before breathing, I have your voice on tape in a southern accent screaming at me. Hello, everyone. My name is Matthew, and I'm your friendly neighborhood lion. Today is Thursday, February 11th, I believe, 2016. And I'm going to be answering a couple more of your questions. I'm doing another Q&A with all of you guys and girls. Let's jump right into it, okay? Alright. Game over, Jesse, my friend. Hello, how are you doing? I hope you are doing well. Thank you so much for all of your help, by the way, and keep doing what you're doing on your channel. Love The Legend of Zelda and keep making the videos. I hope you have all the power in the world, my friend, to continue doing what you're doing. So, he asks me, question, what is your favorite protein? You know, and I've been bodybuilding almost for 4 years now. I don't think anybody's ever asked me this question before. Honestly, now, I look at this in two scenarios. I look at this from two different perspectives. One is function, the way it affects me, you know, the way it affects my body, the way it impacts me as a human. And I also look at it as taste and what I enjoy eating. So, if I'm gonna say taste and what I actually enjoy and what I love, it would probably have to be some kind of red meat or beef, especially steak. You know, I love steak. I'm laughing just thinking about it. My mouth is watering. I love steak. I love having a little bit of pink in there, a little bit of blood in my steak. Beef, red meat, whatever you want to call it. It tastes so good, and honestly, that kind of translates to function too, in the way it affects me. I feel so good when I eat beef or when I eat meat, pretty much any type of meat, but specifically, you know, red meat or beef. Delicious. I love all food pretty much. Don't get me wrong, you guys. Like, I love all food pretty much on this entire planet. If you name a food, I probably love it. More than likely, you know? But as far as function and the way it affects me, you know, fish is really good, and egg whites and eggs in general, because they're light. They're lighter types of protein. Beans are also good. These types of things, you know, they taste good, yeah, but they sit well with me, and I feel light, you know, I feel able to continue my workout. I feel like I can accomplish the things I need to get done. It doesn't weigh me down as much as beef does. So I would have to say that, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I guess if I had just had to pick like one thing, you know, like one type of protein to eat, it would probably be steak. I love it so much. It's delicious. It's absolutely delicious to me. And how do I cook my steak? You know, I used to do like well done, because that's what I kind of grew up knowing what was good. But after I've started bodybuilding, I'm almost in the like rare, not rare but medium, like medium or medium rare is where I'd like to sit for my steaks, for my meat. Absolutely delicious, scrumptious. Protein is great. But overall, I'd probably have to say I prefer carbs, carbohydrates, like pasta, because I'm Italian, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, like if I just eat pasta or just eat some type of carb, like it doesn't satisfy me. I need fats involved, or I need protein involved, like I need something else too at the same time. Like butter, you know, some type of meat sauce or meatballs or ground beef. I need something else in there. Which is very interesting, because I'm going to get into another question, because some of you are very upset with my answer, and that's and I might make you more upset. Alright, here we go. Before I get to that next question, Bashir Adin, he says, since you know so much about psychology, maybe you could answer a problem that I have on my personality and how to potentially fix it. Whenever I'm speaking to random people, I get this consciousness about myself when I'm speaking. The best way I can describe it is that I feel as if I've escaped my body, and I'm standing right next to my physical body, observing myself, talking. And then I try to end the conversation as fast as possible, and it is freaking me out. It's gotten better over the years, but sometimes I still get like this, and I know it sounds crazy. No, it doesn't sound crazy, my friend. You're not the only one that thinks like this. In fact, if you were living in the United States of America, the number one fear... does anyone know what the number one fear of the United States citizens is? This was, I believe, either 2014, maybe even 2015 or 13, somewhere in there, in the early 2000s. The number one fear, it's not of the dark, it's not of any other type of thing that you're thinking. The number one fear that Americans have is public speaking. Would you believe me if I told you that? The number one fear that the average citizen in the United States of America has is speaking in front of other people. So you're not alone, my friend. In fact, I used to be in that same group. I used to be afraid of getting in front of people, especially in school. You're given a topic, you're given a subject. But over time, I've gotten more used to doing these things, especially given my major and given my career path. Being in front of other people is it's like a joke to me now. So the best thing that I can say to give anybody advice that has problems doing these things, speaking in front of other people, here's the advice. Ready? Are you ready? Speak in front of other people. The more you do it, the better you will get. If you don't do something, you won't get any better at it. So if you're afraid of something, the best thing, in my opinion, to do is to go do that exact thing that you fear. If you're afraid of something, go do that exact thing. And over time, as the days go by, as the weeks go by, as the months and years go by and they pass you, you will get more comfortable. You will get more relaxed, given that situation, given that scenario that you are in. I promise you this. I know this without a shadow of a doubt, not only because of my own experiences in college when I was afraid to give a presentation, a psychological presentation, or something of this manner, but I know this when I moved out to California, when I learned that I was becoming a substitute teacher when I was a teacher teaching these children. You can't have this fear. You just cannot have it because they can smell it, they can feel it, they can sense it, and they will feed off of it. Your audience will feed off of your fear if they can sense it. So you have to develop over time by doing it more and more and more. You have to develop this sense of confidence that you can stand in front of people and speak to them. Honestly, a very simple way to do this, a very easy way, a small way to do this, turn on a camera, turn on your cell phone, turn on the video app and start recording yourself. Having that sense that someone is quote-unquote watching you, that this will give you this type of self-reflection where you are monitoring yourself, where you are engaging in a self type of monitorization where you are policing yourself, making sure that you aren't moving in a certain way or you aren't saying certain things in a certain manner that could upset not only yourself but the audience that you have. So that's a very simple way that you can start to become better at this, is just turn on your camera on your phone or talk to someone you're very comfortable with. Have them sit down and you stand up in front of them and talk to them and just speak. You can't get better at something if you don't do it. So you got to do these things in order to get better at them. Okay? Alright, cool. Alright, what do we got here? Oh yeah, okay, cool. Same guy, Bashir Aden. He says, also, what are your views on veganism? And could you give up eating meat? Well, I believe that I could do anything, and I believe that you can do anything. I can do anything I want, and so can you. So if I had to, yeah, absolutely, I could give up on eating meat, and I believe that you could as well. I believe that we can both do whatever we choose, okay? Or whatever we have to do. Will I do that? No, because I love meat, and I always have, and I probably always will. But what are my views on veganism? You want to be a vegan? Go ahead. Like, by all means, more power to you, my friend. Um, Absolutely more power to you. You want to be a vegetarian, a vegan? You don't want to do that? More power to you, no matter what your view is, no matter what your philosophy is, or what your opinion is. My view is anybody can do anything that they want to do as long as they are not infringing on another living being's life. That's all. My only point to veganism is, people tend to do it because, not because of the health benefits, but they do it because of the fact that they don't want to harm life. They don't want to kill anything, right? They don't want to kill a living creature. My only rebuttal to that is, plants, what makes you think plants aren't living? What makes you think that they aren't alive? And they don't have just as much as a right to live as any animal or any human being. That's all. What, because they don't move? Because they're not jumping around, because they don't scream? That's the wrong way to get into veganism, in my opinion, or to get into that type of lifestyle, is because of your sacredness of life, or how you view life. No. If you're gonna do it, I would do it for the health benefits. That's all. Because you believe in your heart and your mind that it is healthier to live in that manner. Not because you value one life more than the other, because I believe that all life is equal. I don't believe that one animal's life is worth more than a plant. No way. You know what those plants give you? Those plants give you oxygen. They're giving you oxygen right now. You wouldn't be able to breathe a single breath of your life without plants. If the plants didn't exist outside, you'd be dead right now, and so would I. So in a way, in that regard, plants are worth more than animals. We should only be eating animals. Animals don't secrete oxygen. They breathe out CO2, carbon dioxide. If it was just humans and animals that lived on this earth because animals are so sacred according to vegans, then we'd all be dead because there's no plants giving off oxygen. And plants take in CO2, they take in the air that we breathe, or the carbon dioxide that we breathe, they take it in, and then they separate it. They rip apart the molecule, and they release oxygen so that we can breathe. So in that regard, if you're only being vegan or vegetarian or whatever you want to call it, if you're only following that type of lifestyle because you love life and life is sacred, then you shouldn't be eating plants at all, because they're the reason you're alive. Cows aren't the reason you're alive. It's plants. It's hilarious to me when people have that kind of viewpoint, that kind of perspective. They're so naive, so short-sighted, so narrow-minded. Oh man, I get fired up about it. But if you want to be vegan or vegetarian for the health benefits, because eating red meat is bad, or eating meat in general is bad, then go ahead, by all means. But you should reevaluate your priorities, reevaluate the sacredness of life, if that's your perspective. Alright. That's all I'm going to talk about in this video. Take care, everybody. And no matter what, I hope that at the end of the day, whether you listen to my videos or not, whether you watch my videos or not, whether you believe a single word that I say, that you never stop seeking the truth. Take care. This is your friendly neighborhood lion. Peace.